I find it dismaying, but I find it also in a way very typical of what human beings do. Yeah, I don't expect human beings to be perfect. You know, people's minds are clouded by afflictive emotions and wrong views and all sorts of stuff like that. So I don't expect them all to even think in their own best interest. Okay, so how do I look at the war? There's so many different facets of what's happening. Like I said, it's dismaying that, but you see, for me, physical violence is always, whether it's this war or any case of physical violence, that is an inappropriate way to solve conflict. Yeah, it's totally inappropriate. Physical violence never solves the conflict, never. Okay, and yet here we are with a lot of physical violence and people taking sides and so on. So clearly, you know, I advocate for some negotiation, restraint, and so on. There are so many things that are happening that are really making me think about a lot of stuff with this war going on. And one thing that I find very heartening in it is how the European nations and the West in general is coming together and offering aid. Not necessarily the military aid, but the humanitarian aid, you know, and that people are caring about what is happening. It's not being pushed aside or pushed aside, neglected. Oh, it's just a little spat. Let's give Putin what he wants and then it'll all be over. Because that's what happened when he took Crimea. And it also harkens back to how World War II started with appeasing Hitler. So I think we need to really deal with the situation straight on, but in a very skillful way, you know, to find some way so that Putin can save face in it all. How to do that, I don't know. If I knew, instead of becoming a nun, I would have become a politician. But those kinds of things are not what I want, how I want to spend my life. Okay. What I think is important in the whole thing is to have a sense of compassion for both sides, or for all the different sides. There's more than two sides in this. And to realize that everybody is just trying to be happy. Everybody's trying to avoid suffering. And that people are extremely confused about what the causes of happiness are and what the causes of suffering are. And so although they want happiness, you know, human beings seem to continually create the cause for their own misery. And this happens on an international level, on a group level, even on a personal level. Yeah, we all want to be happy, and yet we all do things that actually interfere with our own happiness. Can you see that in yourself? Have you ever done some actions and then afterwards thought about, why in the world did I do that? Yeah, that made a mess. So, we can see it in our own lives at the time it's going on. Oh, yes, this is the best thing to do. But that's because our mind isn't seeing things very clearly. We're not thinking of the relationship with the other parties. We aren't thinking in the long term of long-term results. Yeah. And so often we're just, whatever arises in our mind comes out of our mouth. And then afterwards we go, oh my God, why in the world did I say that? Okay. So it happens on a personal level. We all do it individually. And so I think many things on an international level happen that way too. Yeah.